All right, I would like to formally start the session tonight. Good evening, everyone in Malaysia. I think good afternoon to Kenneth. Good afternoon also to Luan. Today we're joined by our friends from Malaysia, from Nigeria, and also from Vietnam. So a little bit of like housekeeping before we start. So first, make sure you use your name in the participants, and how we put our name here in Global Teacher Conversation is that you rename yourself with country first, where you are right now, underscore, and then your name. And then you might want to use pen and paper, or you may be like an iPad kind of person. You can go get your iPad. You are a notebook kind of person. You can go get your notebook and type in the chat if you are known for something. What is that one thing would you like to be known for? Hi, Bernice. Hi. So Bernice said in the chat she works with kids with learning differences. Okay, that's nice, Bernice. Okay. Great. Welcome to Global Teacher Conversation session. This is our 9th session so far in the span of almost 6 months this year. And this is a specially curated industry crossover for the 5th time, where we get guests from non-education environment or industry people to come join us to talk with us educators in this session. Some Zoom norms that we might want to abide by for the session. Number one, you can mute when you're not speaking, not because I don't want to hear your voice, it's just so that we can make sure that our sounds, our audios are not overlapped with one another. Number two, please be present. Please switch on your video if possible. We want to make this experience as real as you can, although we're all so far from each other. We can, at least by looking at our faces, it will feel like real conversation, right? And then participate actively. Don't be shy. It doesn't matter if this is your first time. Everyone could have a little could use some friendly friends in the sessions. A global teacher conversation is established with these 3 pillar principles. Number one is being respectful. All of us who come here are from different backgrounds, have different experiences from different walk of life, right? So we would like to be mindful of how we speak, how we behave, and how we communicate with each other. Next one is be supportive. Give space and time for partners. All of us here, not English is not our first language, right? So sometimes for some people, it might be a little bit difficult to say things that they think in their first language. So you might want to give this person more time, right? And maybe you can help by showing interest, ask questions, answer questions. That's how you can be participative throughout the session. An overview of our agenda for tonight. We will start in a bit, and then there will be a plenary sharing by our friend through industry crossover, and then there will be an open Q&A, which I want all of you to get actively involved in, and you can ask questions, any questions that you like to our guests tonight. And then we will have conversation. In this conversation, we will be prompted by some driving questions you can discuss about in breakout rooms later. We will end with some announcements. We do a little bit of photo time, and then we close in about 1.5 hours also. Okay. Now, Tonight we want to talk a little bit about social responsibility and social works. And then we talk about being kind to others, right? So in Global Teacher Conversation, besides industry crossovers, we also have done session learning about what are the C-suites, what are the CEOs, COOs, CFOs of companies have been learning themselves so that we can learn as an educator, we can learn from them. So I would also like to take some inspiration from the business side tonight about social responsibility. So from Future Learn, talking about sustainable business, they talk about this triple bottom line. So this triple bottom line, also known as the three Ps. The three Ps are people, profit, and planet. So in order to be a sustainable business, to be a sustainable organization, business must take care of these three Ps, people, profit, and planet. But how is this relating to ourselves as educators, as teachers, right? If you see here, for a company, making a profit is a must. And a lot of company or a lot of business organization are striving to make profit, right? But what about us teachers? So we can think about profit as the salary that we receive, the money that we make through working as teachers or educators, right? And then people. To company, people means a responsibility towards people in the company and people outside of the company, especially the community that they are serving. So in the context of education, this means to a teacher or educator, their people are the students in the classroom, the students in the school, their peers, their colleagues, their subordinates, and even their bosses like principals, administrators, parents. So these are all people that we are responsible to, right? To a certain length, we are also like business organization, we are also responsible to the community that we are serving in, right? Looking at where our school is located, the surrounding area are the people of the community that we're serving. And then the third P, planet. Now, from the sustainable business perspective, right? Sustaining planet means you hear all this green environment, green initiatives that the companies are doing. I think this is also the same in the context of education for teachers, for educators, right? Have we think about what we have done to make sure that our planet is safe? Have we made sure that we are using resources, that we are using ink, all those papers for materials? Are we using them and making sure that there's no waste, right? So I think that the three Ps, this triple bottom line in business organization, also applicable to us as educators, as teachers, right? Now, we talk about people, planet, and profit just now. Let's look a little bit deeper about people. Now, the normal student, the normal parents, we would say normal, not normal, commonly. So we know of. But what about persons with disabilities, right? So this is a definition of persons with disabilities from Persons with Disabilities Act 2008. So persons with disabilities are those who have long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments, which in interaction with various barriers in their life may hinder their full and effective participation in society. Okay. And there are 7 types of disabilities that are listed out from this act. So the 7 types of disabilities are learning disabilities, mental disability, physical, multiple disabilities, visual impairment, hearing impairment, and speech impairment. So if you look at multiple disabilities, that means this person might have one disabilities, like for example, learning disability. But this person might also have more than one. For example, this person might have physical plus visual impairment, or learning disability plus speech impairment, right? So a lot of countries actually have adopted the Persons with Disabilities Act 2008 into their country act or laws. And you can check with your country whether you have this. I have checked for Malaysia. Malaysia have this Persons with Disabilities Act 2008. Now, can you type in the chat or maybe unmute yourself, because I'd like to know from your countries, right? From Vietnam, from Nigeria, maybe from Japan. Do you have students with these 7 types of disabilities in your school? If not this school, maybe the previous school that you work for. You can type in the chat or you can unmute. Yes, Kenneth.
Okay, please, can you repeat the question?
My question is, I have shared with you the 7 types of disabilities, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have students that have these types of, any type of these disabilities currently studying in your school?
Well, I don't have it in my school, but there is a special school where I know they study, and I frequent there to offer part-time service and volunteer service.
All right.
But where I do my primary work, we don't have them.
I see. Okay. So is it in Nigeria, if you have a disability, does it mean that you have a special school that you go to?
Yes, there are different special schools, and which we're trying to advise them to stop some of those, we call it segregation. We have special school for the blind, special school for the deaf, special school for the, especially within primary education level. And for those that are doing maybe orientation that got disabled newly, there are special schools where different types of special schools for different levels of disabilities.
That means currently in Nigeria, there's no students with disabilities that learn in like common school?
In mainstream school?
Yeah, mainstream school. There's no students with disabilities in mainstream school in Nigeria?
Yes, from secondary school. There are
secondary there
schools.
is. Okay.
Yes, from secondary school and the university, that you get mainstream schools.
But for primary, they go for these special schools that you mentioned.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Although for the people in the deaf, even in secondary school, they have special school. Yeah, but other level like the blind is only in primary level that they go for in special school.
All right. This is very, very good information. Thank you, Kenneth. I see I see Lowen has typed something in the chat. Lowen, perhaps you want to explain a little bit more about what you've shared in the chat?
Yeah. Actually, in my country, also there are some rarely some place that for the student with disability can study. Like my school with where I work with, there's still some student with learning disability work. Yeah. It's so hard to find them for a place near from their home to learn with disabilities. Huh.
I see, I see. So in Vietnam, like there are special schools, but they're
Yes.
only in big cities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see. But they are students with, like you said, there are students with learning disabilities in
From normal
in
school.
mainstream school. Yeah, in normal mainstream school, right? All right. Okay. So we have a few friends here from Malaysia. Anyone of you guys want to share about your school? Does your school have students with disabilities, and what type of disability that your school is serving the students? Perhaps Padli, Atan, or Bernice want to share?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, Bernice. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually teaching in an Orang Asli school. So
Mhm.
we have a PPKI, but we are also doing inclusion. So
Mhm.
students with mild learning needs are included in the mainstream classroom.
So there are some, right,
Yes.
in your school. So is your school specializing in, serving these students, or they just come because it's near to their place?
There is a PPKI in the school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but the PPKI is full, so the students who are mild learning needs, they are placed in the regular classroom.
Right, right. So PPKI, right, for our friends who are not from Malaysia, you might want to explain a little bit more what PPKI is, Bernice.
Yeah, so in Malaysia, we have three levels of education for students with special needs. One is the full, we call it special education schools, which are fully for students with special needs. And then we have another one, which is called integration. So for integration, they are in the mainstream classroom, but in a separate classroom. So same school, but different classroom, and we call that integration. And then we've got the third level, which is called inclusion. And that means that they attend the class with the typical students. Yeah, so PPKI will be the integration.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Thank you, Bernice. All right. Tan, you want to explain? Maybe you can help explain what you've shared in the chat. Tan?
My school my
Uh-huh.
school is a normal, is open for normal student, but
So
somehow
mainstream school, right? Yeah.
and some of them is like okay you
Mm-hmm.
disability, and one of the boy learning disorder, I saw from the card he did have a card but he looked normal. Every time I enter the class, he will complain to me, teacher, she spoiled my umbrella. And his friend will laugh at him. See, this umbrella can work properly. Like that. Then next day you enter the class, then he will complain another thing. Teacher, just now she touched me. Just now she beat me. Just now she spilled the water to me.
So the one complaining is the other student or the students with this learning disability?
The one complaining is with learning disorder. But
I
he is quite smart during solving the mathematics.
Right. So he's like, you would say like his expertise or his skills is in mathematics, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't understand why he get the cut of learning disorder.
Yeah, I see, I see. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with us not knowing, right? Because we're not the experts in this. And awareness level in Malaysia also, unless you are directly involved with teaching students with disabilities or directly involved doing works with persons with disabilities, I could totally understand why we might sometimes think, oh, why is this person categorized under disabilities, right? Let's take this chance to educate ourselves after this. Right. That's okay. No problem. All right. I see a long-time friend who has not who has not come to this session. Partly, you want to share perhaps your school. Is your school have any students with disabilities that you might have know of?
Yeah. Hello, Atika. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
It's good to hear everyone, especially you talking, right? As the host. Yes, we do have actually over here in my school. Is a separate building actually because the area is accommodated by some of the students from the local area. So we don't have a really secondary school. We only have one secondary school in that area. So everybody will go there. So these people actually with disabilities will go to the separate class, like you is not inclusion like what happened in certain part of Malaysia. But I have to argue that on certain point, for example, for sports, we do invite them join together with the sport houses actually. That's the fun part actually because we follow their age. So that we some of them are really good at sports. So we use the abilities actually to win, medals and yeah, which is good actually. It is so fun actually working with them.
I see, I see. So far, all of you who have shared have, to a certain extent, have students with disabilities, right? I want to hear from Hema. Hema, are you there? Aisha, hi. Aisha, welcome back.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
good, thank you.
So we were talking about persons with disabilities, right? And we talked about definition and 7 types of disabilities that are known based on Persons with Disabilities Act 2008, right? So the questions just now that were given to everyone is that, have you observed if there is any students with disabilities in your school? If so, what type of disabilities? Do you have this student in your school, Aisha?
Since I'm teaching Form 6 for my Form 6 students, we had this experience, but normally no. Yeah.
So your school, it's okay if your school doesn't have any at the moment. Okay, so Form 6 is 18 and above in age, right?
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Hema. Hema.
Hi, Atika.
Hi. Perhaps you want to share about your school, Hema. Do you have students with disabilities? And what type of disabilities do they have? You want to share with everyone?
Okay, hi everyone. Sorry for the delay. Actually, okay, I'm teaching for learning disability students. In my class, I have multiple disabilities such as autism, dyscalculia, dysgraphia, this kind of a disability. But still enjoying. I'm still discovering so many things from my students. And it helps me to explore new things to implement in my pedagogy, to improve my pedagogies, and it's really helpful.
I see.
Anything else?
I think yeah, this will have very good insight from you during the breakout room later when you guys have discussion.
Okay, sure.
All right. Hi, Atika. Same name as me, Atika. Hi.
Hi,
Hello, hi. Where are you joining from?
I'm from Selangor.
Selangor. Oh, I'm also from Selangor. Welcome to Global Teacher Conversation session, Atika.
Okay, I'm new here.
No problem. I see. Atika, So we were talking about persons with disabilities, and we're talking about having students with disabilities in school. Are you currently teaching?
Yes, I'm a special education teacher.
Ah, I see. So from the types of disabilities, right? What types of disabilities that your students have? The one that you are teaching right now.
Visually impairment.
Ah, visual impairments. Is this the school for the blind in Selangor?
It is integrated.
Integrated
Program.
school. I see. So you usually work with students with visual impairment then.
Yes.
I see. Okay, this is very interesting pot of people we have tonight. Okay.
I think I cannot join this Zoom until the end. Maybe I have something else to do.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right. Now, we have talked a little bit about schools and students, right? But what about things that we talk about in the news? I want to give you guys like 1.5 minutes. So run a quick search at your local news portals on disabilities. So when you put disabilities, or if you're from Malaysia, when you put OKU into the search bar of your local news portals, what did you find? I'll give you like maybe 1 minute. Okay. And then after this, perhaps everyone can share in the chat what kind of news that you see when you put in disabilities or OKU in your local news portal. Make sure it's a local news portal, yeah? Not Google. Google will go everywhere. The people from Malaysia, you can go Berita Harian, or you can go Astro Wani, for example. All right, 1 minute is up. Anyone want to share? You can just unmute yourself. Tell me what local news portals that you were searching on, and then you can tell me what headlines did you find. Anyone can go first. Tan, Bernice, Fadli, Hema.
Still loading.
What about you, Fadli? Ready? You wanna share? Atika, I saw that you've share a link into the chat. Atika, you wanna share what you found, where you find it, and what you feel looking at the headline?
I've been searching for Berita Harian, and there's a new news about 4 days ago. The headlines is Wanita OKU found in the bilik sewa what?
Rental room.
rental room and found dead in the rental room. Uh, and woman, a disability woman, was found dead in the rental room. Something like that.
What did you feel when you look at this kind of headline?
I feel pity for the lady, of course, because she's lonely in the room and nobody knows what happened to her. Maybe until the smell.
So it's also like a case of abandonment.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Atika. So,
Thank you.
So Bernice also mentioned in the chat, you guys can also read that through that Malaysia Kini portal reported workplace discrimination and the need for legal protection for persons with disabilities. Right? Loan, the news portal define disabilities. There need to be a policy to support persons with disabilities. 10 big problem with disabilities over the world. Oh, okay. All right. Kenneth, what about you? Have you found anything?
Yes, I managed to find. Okay, I got from a local radio website here. The radio is Imo Broadcasting Corporation, IBC. And it says the physically challenged people are called governments to include them in government policy programs and policies. That's the headline.
Right. So also same, I think it's about the same with Loen from Vietnam, that this is like a call to policy, right?
Yes, to be inclusive in their programs and the activities.
All right. All right. Thank you, Kenneth. All right. Thank you, Kenneth, Bernice, Loan, and Akika was sharing just now. All right. So we've talked about responsibilities, what kind of the 3 P's of responsibilities that we might look forward to. We talk about the definition and different types of disabilities just now. And we have run some quick search in our local news portals on disabilities, right? Now, just looking at our own search might not be enough. So we have tonight a friend to share with us about his work, his direct involvement in working with people, persons with disabilities over here. His name is my friend Kenshi Tanaka. So he's actually from Japan, but right now living in Malaysia, doing like some sort of an exchange work. So he's originally from the welfare department in Japan, and now he's working in a one-stop disabilities community center in Kedah. So Kedah Welfare Department, JKM Kedah in Bedong, right, Kenshi?
Yeah, like.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
all right. So I would like to invite Kenshi to share about his learning, about his experiences working as a social welfare officer. I'll give the space to you, Kenshi. I'll stop sharing so you can share your screen.
Okay. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. I would like to express my thanks for giving me my chance this session to share my experience and knowledge. And actually, I still Kedah in Malaysia, and my original country is Japan. And now I participate program at Japan International Cooperation Agency. Do you know JICA?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
After this I explain. And so I nervous, sedikit nervous. Sebabnya sekarang ini saya tak berapa cakap bahasa Inggris.
No, right. So this is where Kenshi will be sharing with us in perhaps in a little bit of English and mostly in Malay. So what I will do here is for the benefit of our friends, international friends here, I will be translating, helping Kenshi to translate Kenshi's sharing tonight into English.
Okay, thank you, Aktika. We met maybe about 6 months ago.
About that.
Yeah, sign language course. Yeah. I want to study sign language Malaysia because we Japanese also have a sign language, but different from Malaysia. So I want to study, and that time I met Atika, and so very happy so for me and get the chance to there.
No problem.
Okay. So my name is Kenshi Tanaka, or Kenshi is a given name and Tanaka is a family name. And my age is 41 years old. The birthplace Osaka, Japan. Atika, have you been to Osaka?
Yes, I have been to Osaka.
Oh, very. So how about Osaka? So Osaka is famous about Osaka cuisine, foods, Osaka foods. Yeah, and takoyaki is a very famous food in Osaka. Malaysia also have a lot of takoyaki tools. And the
different kind.
Yeah, different, yeah. Different. And work experience is vocational training and support for person with disabilities for about 20 years. And at first I joined NGO and support person with disabilities, especially mental diseases. So because in Japan, so a lot of person with mental disabilities, because so high stress society to get job, to get the high education, and to promote. So and because actually we work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So about 20 hours we have to work in companies. So I elah the situation. And so academic qualification, Bachelor of Social Work, Osaka Prefecture University. So I'm a social worker in Japan. And in Malaysia, I don't have a qualification, but so I can join NGO that support for this person with disabilities. Okay, next. And I explain Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. It's called JICA. I'm currently participating in the JICA volunteer program for 2 years until August in 2024. JICA is one of our agency in Japan, and the purpose of supporting the socio-economic development, recovery or economic stability of developing fields, especially Asian countries and African countries. Oh yeah, today I have a Nigeria friend.
Yeah.
Mr. Ulo. Yeah. We have JICA is in Nigeria is also we have a
we have branch.
Chawanga branch.
Yeah, JICA has a branch in Nigeria. What about in Vietnam?
Yeah, Vietnam. Yeah. Yes. Now in Vietnam, JICA's volunteer jumlah maybe 30 persons. So yeah, especially education field of education. For normal. Next, activities overview. My activities, I'm currently working to support employment for persons with disabilities in the state. So I always visiting companies to communicate advantage of hiring a person with disabilities. In Malaysia, have advantages to hiring a person with disabilities. For example, tax dedication. Kalau sorry, please translate. Kalau one person hiring one person OKU, dua kali ganda ada tax dedication for companies.
I see. Okay,
Twice.
so in Malaysia, right? So in Malaysia, there are a lot of ways that you can get tax reduction or tax deduction, especially for companies. The advantages of companies hiring persons with disabilities in Malaysia is that you get double the tax deduction. Yeah.
Okay. And interview survey regarding the employment needs of PWD. So I support all category of disabilities. So because so that I have a client now 140 person with disabilities. Semua category, all categories. But almost of them it's physical wheelchair, and so other deaf and blind. So masalah pembelajaran 30%.
So currently, Kenshi is also doing interview supports, an interview survey for 140 persons with disabilities. Among these 140 persons with disabilities, most of them, majority of them are on the physical side of disabilities, and about 30 persons with learning disabilities.
Okay. And creating network involving employment support for PWD companies and government. So sekarang ni saya macam pentingkan membuat network dengan macam supporter OKU and staff kerajaan.
So what Kenshi is doing now is being like a middleman of sort. So
Yeah.
yeah, like a middleman between persons with disabilities and also companies. So what Kenshi is doing is that he's organizing and creating a network to connect companies with persons with disabilities and vice versa.
So saya marus sebabnya saya macam wakil kerajaan Jepun.
Yeah, don't worry.
And I collaborate with the Japanese employment support team to share knowledge. I invite a Japanese employment supporter from Japan. Now, maybe 10 team come Malaysia. So usually 10 days or 15 days, and share knowledge and share experience with Malaysia supporters, Malaysia person with disability support. And next, so setakat ini adakah macam soalan? Do you have any question?
I suggest if you guys have any questions, you can put it in the chat, or you can keep it yourself. We can get Kenshi to complete his sharing, and then after that, we will open for Q&A. Kita habiskan semua dulu, Kenshi?
Okay. Terus saya habiskan ya.
Okay, terus.
Okay. Next thing, the important skill for social workers. I have experience as a social worker for 20 years. And I think important skill is 4 points. One of them, empathy. To understand and empathize with their our clients' emotion and situations. And next, to use communication skill, to use the right words and the communication technique to solve a problem and set the goals. So this is a very important. So that now I struggle. This communication skill is ya berkait macam berdasar language, based on language. That's all my challenge. Okay, next, cultural competence to respect different culture and values and provide inclusive services. In Malaysia, a lot, many ada kaum macam-macam. Jadi bagi orang Jepun, ya sangat sangat boleh belajar, can study. Because Japanese is so not many kaum.
Right. So you want me to translate now, or do you...
Yeah. Okay. Now.
Okay. So based on these 4 important skills, right? So cultural competence is very interesting, especially to Kenshi as a Japanese, because Japan is mostly homogeneous, but we just one ethnic. So to be able to work with persons with disabilities also means to open doors to look into different aspects of life, and having to interact with that is and having to know different cultures in Malaysia as well is one of the important skills for social workers.
And last, advocacy. To advocate for clients' rights, human rights, and needs, ensuring they receive the necessary support and resources. Maybe same with student. Teacher also have this skill. Okay, next. And then I think the most important thing is empathy. If we social worker don't have empathy for client, we won't know what client really wants, and social worker can't lead to outcomes that client don't want. This is also very important things, empathy. By empathy, client feel comfortable expressing their true wishes, and the social workers carry out based on the wishes of the client. Understand? Okay.
Yeah. So maybe just a little bit of context. Yeah.
Okay.
When we say client here, client means persons with disabilities. So for Kenshi's clients are persons with disabilities. In our context, our clients might be our students. So to put everything that we talk about in this session into context, our client would be students with disabilities. Kenshi, you continue?
Yeah. Okay. And so sometimes clients can't explain their feelings. If verbal communication is difficult, we use emoji. Yeah, maybe we can express empathy for clients who can't able explain their feelings. This very useful way to communicate. Okay, next. Oh, sorry. Emoji is a Japanese language.
We also use emojis.
Yeah.
So emojis
Japanese.
or emoticon. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's a Japanese culture. One of the Japanese culture, like kawaii.
Okay.
Okay, next, learning from my experience. A long time ago, I had a client who asked me to help him find job. But I think his health condition is not good. So I explained him, now you can't, you should not find job. And you should get vocational training. After that, he got angry and left my office. So, because the reason he wanted work was because he wanted buy a present for his parents. So he felt that his wish was denied by me. Okay, can you understand? From this case, I learned that it is important to understand why client wants to do something. Okay, please tambah.
Right. So yeah, speaking about the point of empathy that we talked about just now, empathy is just not understanding someone's predicament or understanding what happened to them, but also finding out other things that might be related to their situation. So Kenshi was sharing about his experience. A client came in saying he wanted a job. He has health disability, physical disability. So Kenshi said, maybe you should not find a job, but focus on doing vocational training first. Like do a training first. So this client left and got angry and left. Actually, the reason he wanted to work, like Kenshi has mentioned, was he wanted to buy a present for his parents. So he felt as if he was denied the opportunity to do that. So I think Kenshi, you have done such a good job to tell us this story, that it is very important to understand why clients want to do something. And I think this is also applicable to everyone, not just persons with disabilities. Sometimes we need to understand why people do the things that they do. Right? Okay.
Yes, thank you. And after that, social workers, I believe social work starts from emphasizing with why they want to do something. That's all my short story.
Thank
Short
you.
speech. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you so
no
much.
problem, no problem. Thank you so much, Kenshi. This is amazing. We get to see where you're from, the amazing initiatives and the work that you do. And also we learn a little bit more through your stories and also your takeaway from this. So we have a few questions, Kenshi. Perhaps Bernice, you wanna ask your question in person to Kenshi? You wanna read out your question?
Policy to support these people. Define of disabilities.
It's okay. So Bernice was asking, how is the employment climate in Japan for persons for PWD? Is it supportive over there in Japan? Yeah.
Okay, we have an obligation to employ OKU. So wajib ambil OKU. Ya, syarikat yang besar mesti ambil OKU. So 2.3%. 2.3% from semua pekerja. Jadi bagi OKU lebih senang dapat kerja daripada Malaysia. Dan support juga okay. And define disabilities in Malaysia 7 categories. In Japan, 3 categories.
No.
Sorry.
That was from the news portal, Kenshi.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me help translate for you, Kenshi, for our friends in Vietnam and Nigeria. So Bernice was asking about employment climate in Japan for persons with disabilities, right?
Oh.
So Kenshi was responding to that, and Kenshi said actually in Japan, it is compulsory for big companies to hire persons with disabilities, and big companies must allocate at least 2.3% of persons with disabilities within their organization as employees. So there are a lot of opportunities to be hired in Japan. So that means employment for persons with disabilities in Japan are more favorable, more positive. So Kenneth asked, where is your branch in Nigeria? Kenshi, do you happen to know where is JICA's branch in Nigeria?
Okay. Wait. Asokoro Abuja. Asokoro Abuja, Nigeria. You know? Okay, I share address.
Kenneth, did you get the place that Kenshi was sharing? The Kenshi
Nigeria
was
office. Okay.
No, I couldn't get him properly. I couldn't get what he said properly.
Yeah, so Kenshi also have put in the chat a link to the Nigeria office of JICA's Nigeria office. So you can look into that in the chat, Kenneth.
Okay, I will manage and trace it.
Okay, no problem. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Bernice. No problem. No problem. And then Loan. Loan, can you share more about the third skill? From the 4 skills you mentioned. So third skills, cultural. What's that?
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe you want to share a little bit more about.
Alright, cultural English. So sekarang ini di Jepang ada ramai orang luar negara. Dan bidang social work is juga ada banyak klien orang luar negara. Jadi kami mesti belajar perbezaan kerja negara-negara. Kalau kami tak boleh paham perbezaan kerja, kami tak boleh bantu-bantu mereka. Sepatutnya kami belajar kerja negara-negara, tetapi kami tak ada peluang untuk belajar. Sebabnya kebanyakan orang Jepang, kebanyakan penduduk Jepang adalah orang Jepang. Jadi biasanya kami fikir macam cara pemikiran orang Jepang saja. I think it's so not nice, not good.
Let me help with the translation over there.
Okay.
So Loan, in response to your question just now, so it is very important to understand the culture of other people because right now there are a lot of foreigners from other countries residing in Japan. So because there are a lot of non-Japanese nationals in Japan right now, that means the welfare department of Japan also must serve these people from different nationalities. And to serve these people from different nationalities, they need to understand the context, the background of these people, the culture of these people, especially the way of work, the working style of these different people from where they are from. However, there are not a lot of opportunities to do so in Japan because majority of the people in Japan are actually Japanese nationals. So there are not enough exposure or not enough opportunity to understand all these different aspects of culture. So that's why to be able to serve the people with persons with disabilities coming from different countries, it is very, very important. So Kenshi thought it's very important to be able to understand this different culture as well. Nak tambah apa-apa ke, Kenshi?
Ya cukup.
all right. Okay. What about you guys? What other questions you might have for Kenshi? Then you can just ask away. This is your time to ask Kenshi anything about his work in the social welfare department, about his work being a social worker. It's amazing that he's been doing this job for over 20 years. Like what other things that you want to know? So you can just unmute yourself and ask Kenshi.
Okay, sorry.
Kenshi, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow is Hari OKU? OKU Day?
Batalkan.
Oh,
Dibatalkan.
I see. It's been cancelled. All right. So that means OKU Day is not fixed. It's not a fixed date. I see.
Stay.
It's going on 4th of December every year, right?
4th of December.
3rd of
Yes.
December, sorry. 3rd of December.
3rd of December. Okay. Perhaps Kenshi want to share a little bit about what Hari OKU or OKU Day, Persons with Disabilities Day about like what are the usual activities that's been done on OKU Day? Maybe you want to share a little bit of that first with everyone here?
Oh, sekarang ni kami macam JKM Kedah pilih anugerah OKU dan anugerah majikan yang ada banyak pekerja OKU. Jadi hari OKU bagi macam prize kepada mereka. Dan biasanya kami adakan acara tentang hari OKU, sempurna OKU, hari OKU dengan kanak-kanak dan warga emas. Jadi semua generasi dan semua manusia boleh join. Jadi bukan OKU saja. Jadi macam integrasi. Dan ada gotong royong, makan, dan ada sekarang marathon. Ada marathon. Ada lagi. Ya, saya adakan macam khusus bahasa Jepun.
Okay.
Jadi
That's
macam-macam,
interesting.
ada macam-macam.
Right. Okay. So like we mentioned, OKU Day or PW Day, it's not something that is fixed, but usually, like Atika has shared, it's on 3rd of December. So the celebration of it, right? Kenshi has mentioned usually what the Kedah State Social Welfare Department usually do is they do awards giving ceremony. So they give awards to companies that are actively hiring persons with disabilities. That's number one. But there are also like a lot of integration type activities, events and happenings also during this celebration of OKU Day. Like Kenshi was mentioned, like regardless of who you are, whether you are a kid or whether you are an elderly, you can join in. There's booth, there's courses. Kenshi himself do Japanese language course for the day. There's sports activity, there's marathon, there's food. Well, Malaysia and events and meetings, food is something that you cannot take out of. There have to be food in the process. And there are also a lot of other different activities. Okay, so perhaps Kenshi, you can share. Well, you have done a lot in your capability or in your capacity as a social worker, right? But what about us people who are not directly doing work in the social work? People who are just me and other teachers, other ordinary day-to-day educators. What will you advise us? What can we do to support or give support for persons with disabilities?
Okay, so macam dari segi social worker, boleh advice nasihat kepada cikgu-cikgu. So So social worker is a mungkin Malaysia tak berapa famous. Tapi kalau Amerika Syarikat atau England, they're so very famous occupation. So sebabnya social worker is kebanyakan belong to government. Dan selalunya support macam orang miskin, OKU, warga emas. Dan tak berapa jumpa orang yang sekarang tak ada masalah. Jadi ramai orang tak tahu fungsi social work dan fungsi social worker. Jadi saya selalu kongsi bukan social worker untuk bukan social worker. The most important thing about social work is sanggup bantu. Sanggup bantu. Kalau ada orang yang in situation of difficult, kami social worker sanggup bantu. Jadi macam kalau cikgu-cikgu ada situation student dibuli, mesti macam bantu. Sikit susah.
Tolong apa?
Tolong dia, tapi macam naturally is very important. Jadi ada cara yang dengar cerita orang yang sekarang ada situation susah. Ini saya kongsi macam cara dengar. Not judge. Understand? Not judge. Kalau mereka cakap apa-apa, tapi kami mesti tak judge mereka. Betulkah, salahkah, tak judge. Dengar saja. Tak menggalakkan, macam keluarkan perasaan mereka. Lepas tu saya percaya klien-klien tu boleh dapat way of resolve sendiri. Jadi kami macam lead secara dengar. Lead saja. Sorry. Saya fikir not judge is a very important thing. Okay, sorry.
Boleh, tak apa. Saya translate dekat sini ya. Okay, so Kenshi was sharing about how we as teachers can actually get involved and be supportive. How do we as normal day-to-day people can actually be supportive of people or persons with disabilities? So Kenshi was mentioning that this is not your bread and butter, right? But this is a normal thing for Kenshi as a social worker. So they need to be a lot more outreach and teachers can actually reach out to Kenshi or other social workers to get more understandings, to get contacts, to get more knowledge about persons with disabilities, how you can help people, persons with disabilities, understanding social responsibilities and such. So I think point number one is for us to reach out to Kenshi and his other mates, his other social worker colleagues, to help create that exposure, to help create that understanding, to students and peers in our school about persons with disabilities. That's number one. And then Kenshi was also talking about how in Malaysia, social worker is not a profession of choice. It's not that famous. It's not that popular. People rarely talk about, oh, I want to be a social worker. Like this is their first choice of job. But in the UK or in the US, social worker is highly regarded, and a lot of people talk about how they wanted to be social workers. So there's a lot of systems in place. There's a lot of benefits to being a social worker. Perhaps it also goes back to point number one, that there needs to be a lot more exposure about social worker and what they do, about what their initiatives are with persons with disabilities, so that normal people like us, or like day-to-day people like us, can actually have a deeper understanding and make this a popular profession of choice, right? And then personally, what we can do, number one, is to reserve judgment, not to judge these people, persons with disabilities. Whatever they do, perhaps what you want to do is just to listen first. Because these people, even though with disabilities, they are more than capable of making up their mind, number one. And then they are actually capable. They just need to be empowered, right? They are able to make decisions. They are able to find a way of resolve by themselves. I think they just need people to listen to them, right? So I think it's also similar with us, right? It's not like we don't know what we want to do, right? It's not like we can't find solutions by ourselves. Sometimes we just need people to listen to what we want to say, right? So this also applies to persons with disabilities. Okay, so we have another question, Kenshi, from Loan. Do other countries have training about social work in school or at universities? Like we saw that you actually have a bachelor's degree in social work from Osaka, right? Osaka University. So Loan was asking, what about other countries? Do they offer training on social work at school or at university?
Oh, in Japan?
No, other countries.
Other
So
country. Staff saya, okay. Staff saya macam UK, England, Malaysia juga ada social work.
So Malaysia, UK have trainings. What about workshops in school? Have you done any workshop in school, Kenshi?
Yeah, ada.
No. For teachers or for students?
For teachers.
The teachers. I think that the closest to you right now is actually Aisha. Aisha is in Kulim. So yeah, so Aisha, Aisha, if you're interested to, I don't know, make some projects or programs, invite Kenshi over to your school, have like a day to understand for your Form 6 students, perhaps before they step out to the world, listen to Kenshi's stories about social work, about persons with disabilities. I think this would be like a great opportunity. Are you open to go to schools in Malaysia, Kenshi?
Yeah.
I think I can share a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe I got wrong for my answer when I type, but like in Vietnamese, there are some training for social work at universities, but in specific, there are also some social work who are will working in school. That is some specific position for social worker. When they graduate and they work in school to support the student and the teacher at school. And I want to ask about the other country. Do you have the major at university like that?
So Luan was saying in Vietnam, there are the social officers coming into schools specifically to support teachers and students.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
What about in Malaysia? Perhaps Hema, Atika can fill us up. Is there any specific officer, you know, in the school to help, or is this all teachers trained for this kind of work?
In my school, it's all about teachers.
Only teachers.
Only teachers. We don't have any special officers to conduct us or to guide us. So
What about
we have a PPD district officer. This will be the leader for those who are having the special needs schools in every district. When we have the problem, maybe he will come and have a discussion. So a few years ago, we have a visit by the JICA or JICA?
JICA.
Oh,
JICA, right? JICA. So I heard that a few of your JICA members said they're offering courses for the special need teachers. So it's still JICA is still offering courses for special need teachers?
Yeah, we have courses for teachers.
Courses for teachers. Oh, okay. Later I will go
but not
to
every year.
Every year.
Not every year.
Not every year.
Not every year. Oh,
Yeah.
it will be on off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Kenshi.
Yeah. This also depends on who the officer is. If the officer can speak Malay like Kenshi, maybe they have. Alright. So Atika, what about your school? Is there any specific social work officer situated in your school, or are they just teachers like Hema school?
Sorry, I have another meeting with my student here. Sambil-sambil tu maksudnya macam mana tu? Boleh ulang sekali lagi soalan?
Soalan dia, tadi Loan tanya, do you have a specific social work officer assigned to your school to help support teachers and students with, with students with disabilities at the school? Or like Hema school doesn't have any social work officer assigned to the school. All of them are teachers, but they receive trainings from the social welfare department. What about your school?
Boleh saya cakap bahasa Melayu?
Boleh. I just need to translate it to English after this.
Okay, macam kebiasaannya lah di sekolah kerajaan, guru-guru diberi latihan lah kan sebelum menjadi guru pendidikan khas. Jadi latihan untuk guru tu mungkin taklah kata sempurna. Jadi ada kalanya memang kita ada juga jemput NGO luar ke sekolah, tapi taklah selalu, bukan dia secara berkala. Kerana murid-murid ni dipelbagaikan, keperluan dia tu individu berbeza-beza. Jadi mereka sendiri pun ada terapi masing-masing. Jadinya apa yang kita buat, kadang-kadang kita buat macam contohnya minggu pendidikan khas, kita jemput pihak luar untuk bagi talk, perkongsian, macam tu je lah. Yang secara khusus setakat yang sekolah saya tak ada lah, kecuali parents yang bawa sendiri pergi ke mana-mana. Macam tu.
Thank you, Atika.
Okay.
No problem. All right, for Loan, right? For Atika's school, right? Atika's and Hema school both doesn't have social work officers, especially assigned to school to support them. But what they have instead is channels for them to reach out. For example, they have NGOs that can come and train them. So for teachers specially deployed for special needs education, like Atika and Atika's school, they have been trained, but Atika thinks that it might not be sufficient. It might not be enough actually when they train before they get to school. They also have parents who bring teachers, specialists, trainers to support teachers with their skills. So this is what happening in Malaysia. Perhaps, Kenneth, what about in Nigeria? The school for students with disabilities, the special schools in primary that you mentioned, is there any specific social work officer assigned in the school to support the teachers?
Okay, thank you. I still struggling to pronounce your name very well.
No problem.
Yeah, in Nigeria, there are no such arrangements. What happened is that if there are some schools that are integrated schools, the mainstream schools, where like it's not every secondary school that a blind, I mean, the people, especially the blind and other form of disabilities can attend. In Nigeria, there are always integrated schools where people with disabilities, like the blind, will go. And in such schools, a special teacher, special educator will be posted to such school. And usually not enough. Maybe there may be in such school, there will be a resource room where the students, after going to their normal classes with other normal students, will come back perhaps to braille their notes or get some of their materials brailled, and or some other materials they may need for their education is kept in that resource room. But the schools that are integrated are always few. Example, we have 36 states in the country, Nigeria. In it, like Imo State here, we have about 3 of the such secondary schools that are marked out for mainstreaming, integrated school. And it's only in such schools. But that the government will push people with disability, especially those of the visual impaired. But these days, some people with disability are taking their matter in their own hands, resorting to self-help. They may not even let government know about themselves. They may just look around when they finish. So sometimes they may not even get the orientation of braille, mobility, and other orientation. They may just hear about any secondary school, see their friend that is going there. Their parents may enroll them there. In the class, they will look for somebody that will help them dictate notes. They will copy in braille. They may look for somebody that is a visual impaired somewhere to teach them typing with typewriter, which they will use to write exams. But note, they copy in braille. And these days, some of us teach them computer. For some of them, they have learned computer. If there is facility, if they can get that facility, that laptop, when they finish during final year in school, like external exam, if they have been trained properly in computer, they may use it if there's a power supply, or they may charge their computer and use it, and also throughout the university. Because if government has not been doing enough anyway, so people are resorting to self-help, and some of us also providing support. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenneth. We hear a lot of initiatives and effort to actually support persons with disabilities in Nigeria. This is great. All right, so I think we can conclude the Q&A session here. Let's move on into our breakout room session. So before we go to breakout room sessions, right, as usual, we will look into questions. We'll look into questions what we need to discuss in our breakout room. So there are 3 questions for this week. Number 1, have you worked for or get involved in social welfare initiatives? Share if you have, or share opportunities you knew if you have not worked or get involved in social welfare initiatives before. 2, from 1 to 5, with 1 being the lowest, how would you rate the level of awareness about disabilities of your students? And then you can share a justification. Just share your reason why you think that is. And then the third and final question is how do you, if you already have, or how do you plan, if you have not started, to nurture social responsibilities in your students at school? I'll give you about 2 minutes to look into these questions before I send you over to your breakout room today. For Kenshi, perhaps. So the question number 2, you can rate the level of awareness about disabilities of your other clients, the companies that you work with, or the community that you work with. So you can rate. Are they aware? Do they know about disabilities and people with, persons with disabilities? All right, I'll be sending you guys to your breakout rooms. You'll be divided into small groups and have conversation over there. It will be a 15 minutes breakout room. So I'll see you guys back in 15 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hello. Welcome back. I know on the screen it says 30 minutes, but I have put you about 15 minutes breakout room. We don't have that much time tonight. I'm so sorry. I hope you have had a wonderful conversation anyway. I see there's a Doraemon next to you, Tan.
Yes,
Right.
of course.
Right.
Kenshi
Okay.
was explaining something to us.
Oh, really? All right. Kenshi, what was it that you were explaining just now that you get cut off by me? I'm sorry, but maybe you wanna explain that here.
Oh, here. Sorry, one more time.
So, tadi tak habis explain kan?
Tadi. Ya, saya
Wait.
sekarang ni saya macam menerangkan tentang macam mana bantu cikgu sebagai social worker. So biasanya teacher, cikgu-cikgu berapa jumpa OKU, terutamanya autism. Jadi ciri-ciri autism cikgu-cikgu sikit susah nak faham. Jadi social worker atau psychologist melawat sekolah dan menilaikan ketidakupayaan atau kelemahan mereka dan macam dan bagi support, bagi nasihat macam mana kendalikan pelajar-pelajar yang ada sikit autistik atau ketidakupayaan masalah pembelajaran. Jadi saya fikir perkara yang penting penilaian yang betul. Kalau cikgu salah nilaikan pelajar-pelajar, kadang-kadang parents marah. Di Jepang banyak kes, ada banyak kes aduan daripada parents. Kenapa anak saya ada masalah? Tapi kalau social worker atau psychologist nilaikan anak-anak mereka, biasanya parents macam setuju. Sebabnya social worker dan psychologist ada banyak kes, jumpa banyak kes. Jadi berdasar pengalaman social work atau psychologist, ya biasanya bagi saya penilaian betul yang macam 90% betul. Dan psikologis boleh buat ujian IQ atau WISC. Ini macam ujian psikologis. Jadi senang. It's macam macam mana bantu cikgu di sekolah sebagai social worker. Itu saja. Okay, thank you.
Right, so Kenshi was actually sharing in the breakout room about how social worker can help teachers, especially in an education environment, with the increase of kids who are also autistic, who have autism, so they have learning difficulties, right? But they are enrolled in mainstream normal school, mainstream ordinary school. So how can social worker help or support teachers is by helping to correctly evaluate the level of difficulties, so the level of disabilities in students, especially when it comes to autism. Teachers might not be skilled or might not be equipped yet to do an evaluation instrument or evaluating these learning disabilities. And there were a lot cases of complaints in Japan from parents that complained due to teachers' evaluation of their children when it comes to learning disabilities. So when it comes to evaluating disabilities, evaluation and assessment done by social worker or psychologists are more regarded as acceptable by parents rather than teachers. So in this way, perhaps you can see how social workers and psychologists can help with, can work with schools to help identify and evaluate the level of disabilities within students who have learning disabilities, especially in autism. Yeah. So Kenshi was trying to share that in his breakout room just now. Thank you so much, everyone, for contributing, for participating in the discussion just now. To me, this has been a very beneficial, very fruitful sharing that I have heard. I gained a lot of new information tonight, thanks to Kenshi. And also thank you for all of you guys. Awesome questions to Kenshi just now. So I think I learned a lot tonight. I want to say thank you so much to Kenshi for agreeing to be part of our industry crossover and share his experience, share his knowledge, his know-how with other educators and teachers here. Before we go, just a little bit of sharing here about what we have in GTC. So there's a final question, Kenshi. How do we stay in touch? Or how can teachers reach out to you if they need any help? Yeah.
Oh, can I share my telephone number? Okay.
Sure. If
Okay.
you're okay with that, then you can share your phone number in the chat. Okay, awesome. All right.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of opportunities here over in GTC.
Remember, is it a WhatsApp number, please?
Yes, that's a WhatsApp number.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's in international.
So you have
Okay.
the international one. You have to add 6 in front.
So that's wait.
Okay. All right. So these are a few opportunities within GTC. There's a Let's Exchange. So this is an exchange program with a Nepalese school in Nepal, Motherland English Boarding School. So if you are teaching in a school and you're thinking you want to get your students to have some exposure, you want to do exchange program online with students from Nepal, then you can apply through Let's Exchange program. Other than that, there's a GTC Speaks where we do outreach by sharing in talks about education with other communities. So you can share your reflection and connect with us. Actually, Global Teacher Conversation is on Facebook. So I know you have a lot of learning tonight. When you want to do some reflection, write about what you feel, what you think on Facebook, and tag us at Global Teacher Conversation. Don't forget to tag us. Let's take some photos. I hope everyone can open their video. Hi, Hiba.
And Doraemon.
Hiba, hello. Atika, Kenneth, Luan, Aisha.
Yes, please.
Yay.
Please give me your name again. Let me memorize it. Your name?
Atika.
Atika. Okay.
Yes, Atika. You wanna open your video so we can take a group photo?
Oh, I'm not prepared though. I'm just wearing my my domestic wear.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, only my face. If you can get only my face.
Yeah, only face. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Please, when I'm well focused, let me know. Let me on the camera.
Yeah. Hiba. Hiba, if you're there, you can switch on your video as well. Aisha too.
Yeah, actually, I'm not ready for the photo. Yeah, not wearing my hijab.
Yeah. Okay. Aisha.
Can you see my face?
Yes. See your face.
Fine, very fine face.
Aisha, if you're ready. Hiba, we're waiting for Hiba. Okay, let's wait for Hiba. Oh, both Fadli and Tan have Doraemon in the background. Let's wait for Hiba. Hi, Atika. There you are. We'll give some time for Hiba. Before.
Am I well positioned?
Maybe you want to put your
Sorry, but it's hard at the moment.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, so
no
you can check
problem.
the picture. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard at the moment. Sorry about it.
No problem. Kenneth, you wanna put your phone slightly lower?
My front, okay, like this.
Yeah. Your
Okay,
phone
thank you.
lower.
Okay, I should get it like this.
No, lower.
Oh, okay, like this.
Yes, lower and a little bit to your right.
Oh, okay, like this.
Okay. okay, no problem. All right. Okay. We have until your nose right now.
Okay.
Okay. There you are. Okay, that's nice. All right. Let's take a photo, everyone. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hey, Hema, you wanna help me out this time?
Gotten?
Oh, one more time.
Okay.
Hema, help me out. You're muted. Let us know when you come.
Okay, one more, please. Okay, freestyle. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, done.
All right, thank
share
you
in
so
our
much.
GTC Telegram
Thank
group.
you.
Sure, no problem. Thank you so much, everyone. That's a great photo. So if you want to request your certificate, if you need the certificate, then you can request them through email to global.teacher.conversation@gmail.com. So you can request a certificate here. There's a final GTC session for this year, 2023, and it's happening on the 9th of December, 2 weeks from now, same time. So I hope to be seeing all of you guys there. A little bit of sneak peek of what's going to happen during our final session. We will have students joining the session as they will be sharing something. I will not tell you what. Students will be sharing, be doing their sharing at this final session for teachers and educators, and we will have future roundtables of education during this final session. So I hope to see all you guys in 2 weeks, same time. Thank you so much for taking the time off to join us tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kenshi. Thank you, everyone.
So much.
Thank you so much, and good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everyone.